Okay, traders, in this video, what I'd like to do is walk you through how to build a docked workspace and then save those workspace within your configured desktop. Now, the purpose of a docked workspace is to basically build a trading layout in one monitor environment. Sometimes you'll be trading with one computer, maybe on a laptop or a tablet, and you don't need to have your screen real estate spread out across multiple screens. Or maybe you're trading with multiple desktops and you want to have individual desktops with individual workspaces for each different monitor. So the purpose of the docked layout is to create a modular UI system so that you can drag and drop all of your screen real estate and your widgets to the appropriate trading layout of your choice. Now you can see here I already have a pre-built workspace completed. What I'd like to do is rebuild this from scratch so that you can actually see how easy it is to build this workspace inside of Tickblaze. Now, once you open up a desktop, right, you can basically click here under plus, and this is what I like to call the modular brain. I normally like to rename the desktop, or excuse me, the workspace inside the layout. I'm gonna put this as a demo. And then what you're gonna see down at the bottom is there's a menu button. The menu button at the bottom is for docked workspaces. The menu button at the top is for floating workspaces. We're gonna talk about floating workspaces in a different video. Let's start by adding the different components. You're gonna see here, I'm gonna select new. I'm gonna add a chart. I'm gonna then come in here and add a watch list. I'm going to add a dome. I'm going to add a time and sales. I'm then going to add an orders pad. I'm going to then add a positions window. I'm going to add a log section, and then ultimately I'm going to add a trade management strategy section. Now we're going to drag these ones down at the bottom because they're really meant for order management when you're looking at them after you're placing orders. We'll get into that in just a second. The first thing I like to do is I like to add the symbols that I want to trade to the watch list. For this examples, I'm going to choose futures just because the markets are opening now and they're trading heavily, and I'm just going to go to edit symbols. What's nice about what we've done in Tickblaze is that we've pre-configured asset class lists so that you can easily populate pre-built layouts with the right markets of your choosing. So all I'm gonna do is go under filter and click symbol group, and then come in here and then choose any of the ones with the DXF beside that or the pre-built layouts. You're gonna see I've got futures DXF. That stands for DX feed, futures DX feed. I'm gonna click it and you're gonna see there's the primary futures markets that pretty much everybody's trading. I'm going to select OK on each of these because we want to make sure that we're loading the most appropriate front month contract with the most volume. And then there you go. I'm going to hit OK and it's going to populate this. Now, depending on how you want your watch list, you can come in here and you can see the different columns and you can resize them and make them, how you see fit, right? You can remove different columns, you can edit different columns, you can drag and drop the columns to basically show what you want to see. And there you have it. Now, in order for us to link the watch list to all of the different windows, it's very simple. We just choose a symbol linking. I'm gonna select on the S&P and then I'm gonna select yes. On the red, then I'm gonna click red. I'm gonna come down here and click red and then just red, okay? And what this allows us to do is it allows us to essentially look at the entire window of opportunity across all the different windows here based off whatever markets that I select. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm also going to choose red, make sure that it's all configured. I'm going to basically choose red and choose red. I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing is linked. So that way, whenever I toggle the markets, let's say I want to look at the crude oil market, I can select crude. If I want to look at the NASDAQ, I can select the NASDAQ. You can see that everything automatically updates, okay? Now, what's nice about the docked workspace is that it's modular. And what does that mean? Well, a modular workspace means that you can drag and drop things where you want to be using them. Let's say I want to move the time and sales down below. I could basically just hover it over wherever I choose. If I put it in the middle, it's going to create multiple tabs. If I create on the side, it's going to create, different tabs on the side or above. So if I want to put the time and sales below the watch list, there you go, right? And this allows me to be able to make the layout the way I want to see it. Now, let's say I don't want to have the dome on the right-hand side. I could drag the dome to the left-hand side. I could put it here, and then I can basically have it like that if I wanted to basically create my layout like that, right? If I choose it to be that, right? It's really a matter of preference at this point, and you have that flexibility. One of the things that you'll like, if I just bring this back, okay, I'm gonna bring this back over here and put it on the right-hand side, is that when you use a docked workspace, you have the ability to pin or unpin the widgets. And so if I don't want to use the dome right now, or if I don't want to use the time and sales, I don't have to. I can just basically unpin it. And what's really nice is that it allows me to create a more user-friendly visual layout with a lot more screen real estate. Why is this important? Because if you're trading on one monitor, or if you're on a laptop and you're traveling, you want as much room to see the market as possible, right? If I'm not switching between different markets, right? Or if I'm not switching between, I can just hover over them and I can see things, which makes it very visual from a first glance perspective. But if I'm not using them, or if I don't need them on the moment, I can basically hide them, right? I can click back in, I can open them up, pin them back, come in here and change my market. Let's say I want to take a look at the gold contract right now, etc., right? Now, within this, you know, it's really important to save your work, right? And the reason you want to save things is that something happens, your internet goes out, or let's say, you know, you want to basically save it and then load it later. You definitely want to do that. So what I like to do is I like to right click down on the tab, and then you can see save workspace, right? And this way, if you save it, okay, I'm just going to put this as demo tutorial. Okay, and then put it under custom, and then hit save as. And then what that allows you to do is, if you close the workspace, or if you if you want to load it again, you can just right click, load the workspace, click on custom, go to demo tutorial, and it's going to basically populate the entire infrastructure that we've built. Very quick, very efficient, very fast for you to do this. Now, one of the things you're going to notice down here under the execution section, this is what's really nice about Tickblaze, is that these can be tabbed, so you don't have to have them on different infrastructure, right? If I wanted to put a pending order, let's just move this to a smaller time frame, and you can see here, I'm going to bring it down. Let's say I want to put a pending order down here, and I click here and I put buy limit, right? You can see the order now is here. You can drag and drop the order. You can move, you know, see the window. You can see all the columns. You can edit these columns. You can do all of those different things. If I wanted to basically put in a position, and let's say I wanted to sell the market, right? I'm in a sim account for this example. I could hit sell the market, and now I'm short the market, right? Now you can see open positions. You can see there's a position down here, and the purpose of this is to be able to visually see that information, right? And if I wanted to come in here and put a stop loss order, right, I could put a buy stop. Up here, you can see down under pending orders, I've got my limit order, and I've also got my stop loss order, right, for the purpose of this example. I'm going to close this out, cancel my orders, and then there you go. You can see that, okay? At any given time, if you want to check your broker connection or your data connection, you can come into the logs and you can check your data connection, which you are connected to data, or you can check your broker connection depending on your broker. Since I'm in a simulator right now, this is not a live brokerage account, okay? Now, with the docked layouts, you have the ability to place trades on the dome, or you could use the chart trader. We're going to go into order management and trade management in different videos. This is basically a tutorial on how to build your docked workspace and how to save it. Now, keep in mind, whenever you build a docked workspace, it is inside of a desktop. So if I create a new desktop, okay, this workspace will not be in that desktop. But if I want to load it, I could, right? So why is that important? Well, you may want to create multiple desktops. Maybe you want to have a desktop for stocks and a desktop for futures. I could come in here, open up a new desktop, and I'm going to put this as demo 2. Okay, and ultimately I'm going to go into standard desktop. I'm going to basically do this. We're not going to use the template because we're not going to load the pre-built template. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to create the desktop. And you're going to then see I'm connected to data, but I could load the other workspace, okay, from here. And now you can see that I've loaded the workspace in a different desktop. Why is this important? Because I may want to connect to, let's say, Interactive Brokers on this desktop, and then I want to connect to Rhythmic and Trade Prop accounts on this desktop. I can use the same workspace within different desktops, and I can connect to multiple service providers independently using the Tickblaze infrastructure. This is what makes Tickblaze so powerful, is that we have a singular desktop infrastructure which allows you to build docked workspaces directly inside of all the desktops. And this makes it very visual, very flexible, and also very user-friendly, okay? So with that being said, I think that kind of sums up this tutorial on how to build a docked workspace within the desktops. Make sure that you always save your work. You can go to Save Desktop. We've already saved the workspace earlier, so you should be set to go. If you have any questions on how to build a docked workspace, let us know, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, traders.